What do you motherfucking do, Terp Nation? I'm back again with another motherfucking preview. This time it's the Ohio State Buckeyes, week motherfucking 6, y'all. We in week motherfucking 6 in the college football season 2021. Terps are 4-1 coming off a loss against Iowa on Friday night. A loss that, when I watched the film, it looks a lot better than the scoreboard says. That was not a 51-14 scoreboard based on the stats. So the stat don't say, the stat did not really tell you how that ball game go. If anything, if you really want to watch what happened in that ball game, just look at the turnovers. The turnovers will tell you everything. Not just the turnovers, but where the Terps turned the ball over. They turned the ball over on their side of the field. Basically, all 6 turnovers they had was on their side of the field. You ain't gonna win many ball games like that, especially against an experienced, well-coached ball club like Iowa. You are not gonna beat a team like that when you give them the ball that many times on your side of the field. Iowa came in struggling on offense, but they were able to move the ball. I feel like most of that was due to a couple of missed blown coverages, missed tackles, ball angle, and at the end of the day, I see people making excuses. Oh no, we beat ourselves. No, Iowa flat out beat us, guys. All right, ain't nobody. You would never find me make excuses for losses, guys. I don't make excuses for losses. Iowa flat out beat us. All I'm trying to tell you is, the stats, it wasn't 51-14 ball game. I will win that ball game fair and square. But if anything, if it was just based on stat, without the turnovers, I feel like that ball game could have been maybe 31, maybe 21 Iowa, a 10-point win for Iowa, at max a 14-point win. But it became a wash when you turn the ball over as many times as we did. And I feel like it all went downhill when Demas went down. And that's to be expected. That guy is an alpha dog. Demas is going to be an alpha dog, not just in college. He's going to be an alpha dog in the NFL. He's one of those guys whose personality, his charisma will shine when he goes to the next level a lot more. To me, he's baby T.O. I've been saying it. You guys can go watch my preview since he probably committed to Maryland 4 years ago, right here on this channel. And I've been saying it. This guy is baby T.O., baby T.O. Owens. And Demas is going to get bigger. Yeah, because I haven't seen a better route runner at his size in the college park, maybe never. They've never been a top receiver at his size with as good as feet as he has and route running as he does. And another thing that low-key sneaky, one of the things people don't talk about Demas' game, Demas has a very high IQ. There are plenty of times I watch him run routes. He finds ways to get open that I've seen many guys in college, including guys who have won top 5 pick in the NFL draft at wide receiver, who never will be able to get open in those kind of situations. Demas knows exactly how to attack each coverages. If you watch Maryland games, most of the time when teams play zone, Demas know how to find an O and just sit. Outstanding football IQ, Demas guy. To me, he's very comparable to DJ Moore. DJ Moore was another guy I felt had an outstanding football IQ. Those guys, they know how to get open. And then when you add all the other aspects in terms of the athletic gift, they are special. When you know the game and you couple that with the actual talent, man, you're a fucking problem, bro. That's what Diggs was, and that's what DJ Moore was, and now that's what I feel like this guy is. Rakim is at that level too. Rakim has a high level understanding of football, but right now I feel like a lot of Rakim's flaws are really just he danced too much in his routes. He needs to learn, if you can beat somebody with one move, beat them with one move. Stop trying to counter moves. That's just wasting time in this level, all right? If you can beat somebody just doing one thing, do it and get it over with and get open. But a lot of times when I watch Rakim, he will literally run a route. In trying to run a perfect route, he actually make himself unopen. Like I've seen it too many times when his first initial move off the line, he's already beat his man. Rakim already beat his guy. But then, with him dancing too much, he actually allowed his guys to get back in the route. And that's something he will get better at. That was something he'd get better at, all right? Stephon Diggs had that same issue. When he first came to Maryland freshman here, he was really just good because we were just good at getting him into space. But the times when he had to run a route, his freshman year, he couldn't. He couldn't run a good route because why? There were times he had the skills to get open, but guys like Diggs and Rakim, who came in as good route runners, a lot of times when you watch the college tape, they dance too much when they do their route running. It's too much wasted motion. You're dancing too much, bro. Go from 1 to 2 and get open. That's it. At the next step, you ain't gonna have time 5-second routes. Nobody got time for 5-second route. Your route guys will be less than 1 to 3 seconds. That's what the great routes are, 1 to 3 seconds. If you can get open down in that range, you gonna catch a lot of passes at any level. But that Dimas injury really hurt us, and I think it deflated the whole roster. That was our alpha dog, all right? That was our alpha dog. So I understand it, why this young team went to shit after Dimas went down. But this week is another week for these guys to respond. This week is another week, I feel like, this staff to respond. Because a lot of what went down against Iowa was coaching. A lot of it. And when you watch the film, you will agree. Anybody who watched the 22 film of college football, when you watch it, you will agree that a lot of what went down against Iowa was coaching. Even some of the earlier turnovers were coaching. They didn't give the kid enough short, intermediate route options passing on the passing game. Every fucking route, mail and run in that game was deep routes. It's like they didn't respect Iowa DB, or they literally thought they were getting man-to-man. I don't know what make you thought with the kind of offense we're coming into that game, Iowa coaches staff were just going to roll out there and just let us do what we do, like Kent State did. No. Iowa know we have better athletes. And what do? They scheme things up. When you face, like this week, we're facing a team that has far better athletes than us, Ohio State. This staff have to scheme things up to give us a chance. That's what Iowa did last week. They schemed things up to give their guys a chance to play fast. When you have a short week, you don't really have that much time to install a lot of things. So what you got to do as a coach, you got to simplify things. Maybe on a normal week when you run like 20 different defensive play calls, on that short week, maybe you go with just 7. But you make sure those guys are playing fast, running those 7 plays. Because why? They have a high understanding of those 7 plays. There's many times you see teams out there, defensive coordinators, they're running all these fancy formations, all these different disguises. But in the end, their guys start blowing coverages because they don't even understand what the fuck is going on half the time. So, again, that's another thing I want to see from Maryland this week. We need to start switching away from our man-to-man. We're going man too fucking much, especially in key downs. I don't know if we have to switch it up on first down or something, but teams know exactly when we go to man, and teams know exactly when we go to zone. Every time we go to man against Iowa, we got people in key downs, they beat us. They had a play call for it. So maybe there's something we need to do better disguising, how to disguise our coverages, because we can't keep going into a pre-snap in with one play call, and then you have these offenses out here who will let it come into the line of scrimmage and change it into 3-4 plays while they're still at the line of scrimmage. We can't be still static. Teams are literally changing their plays while seeing our formation. And yeah, I don't know, maybe because we're young and the staff is not trying to do too much communication on the young team. That also could be it. That's also another aspect why coaches do what they do. If you have a young team, you don't want to give them too many information out there because you just not going to make them play fast. You actually hinder their chances to play fast. All right? So maybe the staff was just trying to simplify things, and there's a lot of things we didn't expect that Iowa did, but their tight end beat us. And I came into the game and saying, well, can I allow the tight end to beat us? All right? And after a while in the first half, every key third down, Iowa was going to the outside. They were never running the route in the middle. They rarely run. I think they run like 2 slant all fucking game. At some point after that first quarter, our defensive coordinators got to tell our corners, force these guys to the inside. They cannot beat us running away from us. All right? But if you give them all that space on the outside, that's too many. You can't have a guy go both ways on your ass. That's basically what I'm trying to get to. That's most of Tahib Steele problems on film were that. He was giving too many guys options to go both ways. When you're playing in the slot, you have to pick a side where you want to lean towards sending your offensive player. You cannot have an offensive player who can go both ways as a slot in a slot area, and you think he's going to be successful as a slot defensive back. You are not going to be successful. As good as Tahib Steele is in his coverage skills, he got exposed to some extent against Iowa because Iowa guys just ran away from him on the outside. They made a little quick moves in the inside and they ran out. And the quarterback with timing, again, execution, and good coaching, they were able to execute those plays. Maryland DBs were right there the whole night. Iowa just out-execute them. And it goes back to coaching, guys. At some point, this coach has got to help these guys. Like, dudes, these guys keep running on the outside. They're doing rub routes. Figure this shit out. Make these niggas run slants. And then let our safeties, which is actually strengthening our team, Nick Cross and Sean Mosley, probably 2 of the best. In fact, they're probably the 2 best tacklers of the motherfucking team. Jordan Mosley and Nick Cross, our 2 safeties. Them niggas were basically out of the motherfucking game because of our scheme. We have Nick Cross playing 20 yards in the back against a team like Iowa who came in barely throwing the ball 20 times again. So it's just, there's a lot of things I don't appreciate at all about the X's and O's that went into that game against Iowa. A lot of it. Don't get me wrong, the kids made a lot of mistakes. The penalties, the boneheader, the undisciplined play, Tualia undisciplined, just horrendous play, lack of taking care of the ball. Those things all aided massively into the loss. But what I'm trying to tell you is a better coaching staff, even with all that going wrong, a better coaching staff based on the stat I saw, which tells me Maryland, talent-wise, was probably comparable. If not comparable, they were better than Iowa. Iowa did not have more talent than Maryland when you watch the stat. Even though the scoreboard is what it is, what that tells me is it's a young team that come out there, got smacking them out, came in really with a lot of emotions, started off well in the first quarter, but then got smacking them out, and they have their best player fumble, completely went out, just check out of the game. A major injury made them check out the game. A lot of young teams, I've seen it happen. I've coached Pop Warner guys. It happens all the time. Even in Pop Warner with these kids, when kids, their buddies get hurt, that shit affect the motherfucking kid, bro. Even in the National Football League, people always say next man up, next man up. There's very few football teams that can deal with a major injury and still go on and have a good season. So the only good thing about, if there's no good thing about Demons getting hurt, but the only bright side about it is probably the fact that it might be one of our deepest position groups in the fucking team. Our receiver room is as good as any. Now, with Dimas being out of it, we lost a lot of manpower in that job because he was one of the top guys that made everything else go in our receiver room. Now, guys like Deshaun Jones, Brian Cobbs, Ty Felton, the true freshman. Now, I don't even mind seeing a couple of freshmen play because I think Ty Felton is going to be a player for us. The kid from Virginia. That guy, he was hurt all his junior season. Last year they didn't have a senior year because of COVID, but this kid's gonna be a star. Ty Felton. Tylon Felton. That kid's gonna be a star. All right. But yeah, or maybe even the guy we got from Nebraska, the little Marcus Fleming, the dude we got from Nebraska. Those are all guys who are options to step up. All right. I expect our tight end like Chig. Chig had a horrible game against Iowa. That's another thing I want to mention. Chigozium had a horrible game, not just in run blocking. He had a horrible game in pass blocking. He had a horrible game in route running. He had there's one time he was open that Tualia missed him, and that probably could have been like a 30-yard game. But other than that, that man run terrible routes against Iowa. And quite frankly, I haven't seen the chick that we saw pre-injury, that we saw like 2 years ago. That kid was very highly talented, highly explosive, and he was a matchup nightmare against linebackers. This year, he hasn't even created any kind of space, even when he's being covered by some of the worst linebackers. And that's a major concern when you have a guy who was on the Senior Bowl watch list. Now, unless he has a massive season going forward, I don't even see him getting invited in the Senior Bowl. Like he has not looked good at all. Chigozium, our tight end. All right. If anything, I think Corey Dyches has looked way better than him. Period. Corey Dyches in run blocking and pass blocking. Corey Dyches and pass catching. In blocking and catching. Corey Dyches has been better. So there's a lot of things there leave to desire with that guy, Chigozium, number 9. When you have a super senior, as he is, you expect him to have a great season, as Sam Okuwanenu is having right now, number 97 on the defense. He's, quite frankly, our best defensive player by far. By motherfucking far. Oh, actually, I gotta take that back because Amy Finau, he get doubled a lot. But most of the times, 99% of the time when he's not double, Amy Finau is making a play. He's doing something impactful, something positive. That's the problem sometimes I have with some of our other upperclassmen. These dudes, like you would think an upperclassman would take leadership. It's your final year. You want to make plays. Some of these guys are just not making motherfucking plays right now. And that's the motherfucking issue I'm having. And one of the worst penalties we had against Iowa, and again, full of boneheaded penalties. But one of the worst ones was the one when we had them third and goal. I like the 15-yard line. These dudes were going to fucking kick a field goal. And this motherfucker, LaCharles Rogers, number 95, decided to commit a personal foul way after the play. And then he want to go on the sideline trying to explain himself. That's the type of shit, I swear to God, I can't be a coach. I would literally punch a motherfucking kid for doing shit like that. I literally just watch you do some stupid shit. And then you are on the sideline want to explain to me, Coach, this is what happened. I don't want to fucking hear it, bro. That's what I think Maryland problem right now. I don't know if these coaches are really letting these kids know, holding them really accountable. Because there's some accountability issues with this team, bro. Like, there's some legit accountability issues. How the hell you a senior, you commit a personal foul on third and goal, about to be fourth and goal, and your ass go on the sideline, get mad at the coaches for pulling your sorry ass out. Niggas like him, Rutgers, are the problems. Are the problem with this wrong roster. As talented as we are, our upperclassmen bums, guys that probably shouldn't even be in College Park. This dude went to Roosevelt. He was not Maryland, University of Maryland worthy. Now, as a senior, he's playing like he belongs at this level, but not nearly to get as many reps as he's getting. On a perfect world, that guy will not play at Maryland. But yeah, you are, as a motherfucking super senior, with NFL scouts in the building on national TV, you committed with the worst penalty, one of the worst penalties I've ever seen, bro. Third and goal. Your team is fighting. They just got to stop. And you decided after the whistle to attack the guy. Maybe he pounded you or pancaked your sorry ass in the previous play, and he got up letting you know about it. Nigga, just pancake your ass. And you got upset. You want to get all feisty, flag. Like, that's the type of stuff, bro, I cannot deal with, bro. I swear, I'll let him punch a fucking guy, bro. I'll let him punch a kid for doing stupid shit like that. Bro, you just cost your team a touchdown, bro. The worst we could give up there is probably 3. And now it's definitely a touchdown because it's first and goal after 1. Iowa went and sneak it in. Quarterback sneak it on the second play, second and goal. That's the type of shit I cannot do, bro. This is why I'm not coaching the higher levels. Because I hold dudes accountable, bro. I hold 5-year-olds accountable. I hold my Poplana players accountable when they make mistakes. It's a sport, but people got to realize there's a lot that go into playing a football game. There's a lot of practice that go into playing a football game. There's nothing that pisses me off more than we practicing all week long. And you come in the ball game and do some dumb shit like that. And then want to come in the sideline trying to tell me, Coach, it wasn't even like that. Bro, at that point, just get as far away from me as possible. Because believe me, you come anywhere near me and you say, what, I might swing on your bitch ass. That's how mad I'll be. There were just too many of that going on. Lack of discipline with this team. That's something Lux really got to take charge of. And to be honest with you, that's lack of discipline, not something you fix overnight. It won't get fixed this season. We're going to have discipline issues all season. Unless these guys mature, somehow they mature. But we're going to have undisciplined. This team is going to be undisciplined all year. They've been doing it all fucking year. They haven't learned. Even against Iowa, after their first couple of mistakes, the boneheaded penalties they've had, they kept doing boneheaded shit the whole game. That's not a team that's experienced. An experienced team would have been like, all right, guys, clean your shit up. We're trying to win here. We're making enough fuck-ups. Let's clean our shit up. That's an experienced football team. A young football team, I don't even see anybody stepping in people's faces in that game. That's one of the issues I had. After Tolia third pick, somebody should have went in his face, bro. A player, not a coach. Another player should have went in his face. Like, bro, we're fighting here. We're on national TV. Stop giving them more of the ball than we get. They're catching more of your passes than you throwing it to us. So, like, that's a major issue I have right now with this team. So it's like, it's just a lot of issues going on, bro. Like, Lux got to clean up the penalties, got to clean up the personal foul, got to clean up the turnovers. So he's got to take care of the ball a little bit better. We got to tackle better. We got to do better playing angles on the run. Like, I seen too many times our DBs come to run support, they're just chicken wing and shit. A dude who does a lot is probably, what's his name? Kenny Bennett. I'm sick of that dude. Another super senior bum. Like, too many of our worst players are the super seniors. When you have that, it's not a good sign, bro. As much talent as we have, young talent, we need our upperclassmen to play like it, to set the example. And these guys are bombs. So literally, we've been forced now to have our young guys get trial by fire. That's basically what it comes down to. We have to play all these young guys to get trial by fire and hope next year they come in there with the experience they gain this year to get 20 times better. But the thing we're doing trial by fire, you're going to have a lot of moments like the Iowa game. Blown coverages, missed tackles, poor angles, lack of execution. Like, just not winning football, man. Not winning football. But this week again, we play against Ohio State team. They're also 4-1, just like us. They're 4-1, we're 4-1. We're going to this ball game. Both teams are basically similar records. they have a better Big Ten record because we lost to Hawaii. Their only loss was against Oregon. Our only loss was in conference against Iowa last week. But basically, everything we wanted in the season, whether it's conference championship, Big Ten, everything is right in front of us. If we go out and win the rest of our games, no one will even worry about Iowa. If we go out and even beat Ohio State, no one will even worry about Iowa. If we go out and even show a fight against Ohio State, play for 60 minutes, no one will talk about Iowa. Because then people realize that was not the real Maryland team. So, again, Tolia, the pressure is on. You could not have hurt your draft stock any worse than you did last week to Alea Tagovailoa. Another week against better athletes. Ohio State defense is not better. They're not better coached than Iowa defense, but they have better players. They have more players that are playing in the league than Iowa have on defense. That's just what it is. As bad as they are, they're just not being coached well. So, if Tolia gonna have to, if there's ever a chance for this guy to go on a big stage after flopping on a big stage, it's this week. Like, he goes out this week and he put up a good game, productive game. He took care of the ball. He do all the things that he was doing before that Iowa game for the most part. No one will talk about that Iowa game as bad as it was for him. At the end of the year, no one will mention it. Now, any kind of talent evaluate, we're going to evaluate that game. But that actually could help him, because when you have a game as bad as that as he has on national TV, some guys can just shut their confidence the rest of the way. So I really want to see how Tolia respond this week on the road against the Buckeyes team coming up, probably their best game of the season against Rutgers. They whooped Rutgers. A Rutgers team that shut down Michigan on the road the previous week. That's not a joke on Rutgers team this year, especially on defense. That Rutgers team on defense can play, because Shiano got those guys playing on defense, all right? And the offense still make mistakes. Ohio State took them out the ball game from the first whistle to the end. And their quarterback had the best game. Their sophomore quarterback had probably his best game he's had all year in terms of accuracy, taking care of the football and making good throws down the field. So Maryland gonna have another hands full weekend this week. Our DBs got challenged last week. Man, get out of that mantle, man. Play a little bit of zone, bring Nick Cross down a little bit more. I want to see Nick Cross play 10 yards from the fucking line of scrimmage. Stop dropping that man 25 yards back there. He does no good. Teams ain't going to throw it up. They ain't going to give him enough chances to make an impactful play when he's that far away. Bring him to the line of scrimmage. Even when they don't give him enough chances, when you're that close, Nick Cross will make enough plays to be impactful. Like, adjustments, guys. I want to see that adjustment. Bring Nick Cross down a little bit. Play a little bit more two safeties. Blitz a little bit more. Disguise a little bit more. There's a lot of things we can do on defense to be better, because Iowa knew exactly what we were doing. All right? They knew exactly what play we were running and where to go. That's part of the problems I have watching that film. It was too many times I feel like Iowa when the quarterback snapped the ball, he had one read, and that read was usually open. The few times we forced the Iowa quarterback to get off his first read, he was either inaccurate or we got there with the pressure. That's the problem, bro. Too many times you knew exactly where to go with the football, and that's defensive coordinator doing the same shit all fucking season, bro, against coaches that are literally can coach in the NFL. These are some of the staffs we're facing. These are NFL staffs. They're better than some NFL staffs. Like, Iowa staff is better than some NFL staffs. They just don't have a lot to play with. But if Iowa get the same athletes Ohio State got, the Iowa team will be dynasty every fucking year. That's how great their staff is. And that's the problem with Maryland, bro. We're going to these games with this fufu ass X's and O's, and then when we actually get exposed and embarrassed at a Pee-wee level, everybody wants to get upset. Maryland fans want to get upset when people talking shit. Watch the film. You understand why people are clowning us. People saying we're not ready for big boy football. We are not. We are not. We have the talent eventually if they grow together and gel together, they will get there. All these games they're playing, these kids will be a lot more competitive next year. But I want to see growth this year. I don't want to see no more of that Iowa getting 51-14 scoreboard. I don't care how you guys got to be way more disciplined than that. We're a lot better football team than 51-14 scoreboard show against Iowa. A lot better football team. And I hope Ohio State come in and thinking that this was going to be a cakewalk. And this Maryland team was going to put up a fucking fight. I come into the season was worrying about our defense. Now, with the demons out, my concern is all offense. But again, week number 6, Ohio State, both teams 5-1. Terps heading on the road. This is going to be in the span, including Iowa. Terps are about to be on the span of playing 4 or 5 ranked teams, and 3 of those on the road. So again, this team has their work cut out for them. So will be no easy way out of this to a bowl game, no easy route. This Maryland team has to earn the bowl. Before the year, I said 7, 8 wins. I still believe 8 wins is possible. 4 more wins for this ball club. Go motherfucking Terps.